Hello everyone, welcome back. So in our Appium with Java framework series, today we are going to see how we can add more number of test cases and also deal with the page object model and also a couple of reusable methods. So in our previous session, we have seen how we can deal with the login test and then couple of different learnings that we did in our previous Appium learning or TestNG. Those concepts we have used here to go for the valid and invalid login scenarios, right? Now today we are going to see some more new test cases and also we will see how different scenarios we can handle it. Now if you see that this is a e-commerce kind of demo application, right, where you can see a couple of products are visible here. Now a lot of different options or scenarios that we can automate, right? For an instance, you can see there is a sort by functionality where you can click any one of these options and you can verify if your items are kind of restructuring based on the selection or not, or you can verify how many items are displaying on your screen. So all these different types of test cases that you can design it to validate your application. Now this is what we are going to do today. So for this, what I'm going to do, I will be dealing with the product space, any kind of actions related to the items, and I will be adding a new test actually here, and that should be products test. Now this products test will be dedicated to any kind of test scenarios that I'm adding for this particular products page actually here, like or this sort by or else verifying a particular name, price, all these things. Now for this to go with the products page, right, as we always understood that we need to utilize a common framework for both Android and iOS, right? Now the same thing we are continuing for our further test cases as well. Okay, so the first and foremost test case that I'm going to add is that grab the number of items from this particular page actually. So for this, I'm going to the Appium inspector, going to the Android demo. These are all the capabilities that are required for your to identify the elements, right? And then I will go and start session. Okay, as you can see, this particular screen is reflecting here, and if I click on any one of these items, right, you can see there is a store item text which determines the name of that particular item, and store item price is the price of that element. Now if I want to count the number of elements, right, I can pick up this particular store item text as my list of web elements and I can get the size. So let me copy paste this and search this XPath, and I'll go here and I will remove this because I want to pick up the number of items on that screen, right? So I'll search it. Now here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually I have taken the price, the same thing I can take the name. But how many items are present? 6 items are present, but it is able to identify 4 items. Now this is one of the peculiar behavior of the Android. How many items are visible on the screen, that many items only it will be visible there. So what you need to do after grabbing these 4 items, you need to scroll and you need to grab the rest of the items. Then you need to scroll, again grab that item till your end of the page. That is how you will be keep on grabbing the list of items and appending to a list or set. Now in this case, we know the names or the prices are very unique actually. So for that we can take set, so that what will happen, see now I picked up 4 items, I'm assigning to a list, I'm scrolling down, how many items I can pick up? 4 items. So initially 4 items, now again I'm getting 4 items. If I append to an existing list, I will be getting 8 items, which is wrong, right? That is why what we are going to do, we will take a set actually instead of list to grab these items, so that you will have only what you call the unique items on this particular list. So let's get into the util. I will be creating a new method here which will grab all the list items. So for this I will be using the concept of a scroll and click actually. Here you can see, as I told, we need to keep on scrolling till the end of the page, right? So that's where I'm taking end of page method. This one we have already discussed. So I will take this particular method and rewrite the code actually. So here if I go, I'll just do a kind of get items, and this get items will be kind of accepting the list of items here. Okay, and I don't really require all these things because I just need to send the list items. That is nothing but the store item text actually. Okay, and then I really don't need this flag, rather I need a set, right, as I explained. So set of web element, oops, set of web element, and I will take some variable name equal to new hash set. I will be taking a hash set here. Now this hash set will be holding the generic type as a web element. That's it. You just need to take an empty set so that I can keep on appending that particular items. So I will be going into the loop till the end of the page, and after that, for each of the time that I'm grabbing that list, right, these items, I don't want this, rather what I'm going to do, I'll say items dot add and this element. So keep on grabbing all the items on that particular screen, whatever it is visible, and keep grabbing that and put it into the items set actually there. That is what I'm going to do. And till when? Till it is going to the end of the page. Now here I need to scroll. Actually I have deleted that. This one, this else condition I need to put after each for loop actually, because this for loop will be grabbing all the items on this screen. The next immediate action is to keep this scroll actually there, right? Scroll direction down, and ratio you can take something actually there. Let's see what is the error it is giving. Create method scroll in util. Okay, so it's not able to identify this scroll method. Why is that? Let's see. Yep, now it is resolved that. So I can do. Now there is a thing actually, I'll tell you. Now in Android, when you grab the list items, it only gives the items that is into the viewport, right? But iOS is a bit different. It grabs all the items irrespective of what is visible and what is present on your screen. Means when I am dealing with the iOS test cases, I don't really need to go to this while loop and do everything, right? So I can put a simple if-else condition. If you don't remember what I'm talking, let me just do that. So I'll say if app driver dot get current driver instance of, okay, instance of, if it is a Android driver, then only you deal with all these things, as simple as that. And else if, okay, else if the same thing I'm taking here, if it is get instance of a iOS driver, then you simply grab that items dot add, okay, items dot add, or I can say I don't really need to loop it. I'll say app driver dot get current driver, okay, dot find elements of what, of this list items, right? But it is a set, and this is something which is coming as a web element, right? You can see find elements always returns a list, but I'm assigning to an items, right? So what I'm going to do, I will be converting this to a particular set actually. So here I will use the stream method dot collect all the items, whatever it is there, and then I will convert that into a set actually here. And here also I don't really need to cast this. There is no requirement here. Even I can deal with this. Okay. Now, so it's just saving time. When you are running the your iOS test cases, you don't really need to go to all these things. Perfect. Now there is one more catch actually there. Now think about when I'm capturing this list, where I'm reaching at the end. I mean, after all of the items I'm capturing, it is going to this screen, right? Now always keep it a reminder, whenever you are grabbing any item by scrolling till the end, it is recommended to go and scroll till the up actually, so that you will always reset your screen where you are at. So for this, let's add another method, that is the scroll to top method or something. So I have written that concept, the same concept. There is no difference here, but there is a slight change I have done. See, I don't want to grab any elements, right, when I'm simply scrolling to the top, but this concept remains same here. I'm just doing, instead of scrolling down, I'm just taking it as up actually. And here, each time you are doing, you can simply wait for some time and then you will go. See how I'm grabbing, coming down, like I'm here, I'm capturing the page source, scrolling down, I'm capturing the page source and comparing it, right? The same thing, I'm at this location, I'm capturing the page source, I'm going up, capturing the page source, comparing. It is not equal, so this scroll becomes successful. Now if I'm again doing a scroll up, the page source remains same, right? It means that my while loop become fail and it will come out of that loop. Simple concept. Fine. So these two methods will help us to identify the test cases. Fine. Now let's go into the products page and write a simple method to grab all the items from there. So what I'm going to do, I will come back here and then I need to identify the elements, right? Now let's get into the Appium inspector, go back, and this actually, instead of store item price, right, I can take the text actually. And same thing, 4 items, it will be visible. So I'm taking this XPath and somewhere I need to add it. Now here, do I need to use this if else condition for this particular XPath? I would say yes. How do I know? Because see, this is let's close it. This is an Android widget text, right? Now for sure, when you are going with iOS, this Android widget will not be the web element, right? It would be XQ element. If there is a particular your accessibility ID, then you can use it common for Android and iOS. So for that reason, I will now uncomment this method. You guys should have remember actually this one we have dealt with in our login way as well. So if you're not understanding, let me do that. So I will take here by items, I'm taking something here and I will keep this as my variable, and here I will say items equal to, I'll say Appium by dot XPath, and I will simply copy paste this particular XPath actually to grab all these things. Now when I'm dealing with the iOS driver, right, that time I will be adding again items equal to, that's it. Okay, 2 different things I'm doing here. Now let's see. Okay, here you need to give a semicolon, and instead of this double quote you can give a single quote so that you don't need the escape character there. Fine. Now this is actually items, right? Here actually even I can say item names, I can say like this, and here I'll say item names. The same thing, I can create another one for price as well. So here now see another thing that I want to identify here, because as I told, now grabbing is fine. I'll take this item names, I will put it into the get items of the util method, and I will get the count to verify if 6 items are present or not. Let's add another test case where what I'm going to do, I'll click on this, and then this particular list gets changed. Let's say I want to verify the first particular name, that when I'm selecting this particular sort by option, right, I should get my first option as it is. Now think about, you are working on a real-time application, right? You can create a unique account. In that you add couple of items. Don't take any arbitrary account with arbitrary items. It would be difficult for you to test different scenarios. So you can take which is known to you, all these application items, and then based on that, see for an instance, if I'm clicking on this, let's say price descending. Now I need to verify that I know I have added 6 items and the maximum price that I have added is $49.99, right? Now I can capture this first item price and I can verify that this has to be this price. That is what I'm going to do. So for this I will be identifying the web elements of all these 4 items actually here. So the thing is that I will first locate this particular item and then the items from that particular list. So if you click on this, you can see there is this one actually, and you can see there is a accessibility ID as a sort button. So accessibility ID, it means that I can use it for both Android and iOS. So I will be adding here. So I'll give some name as sort by options, okay, or option equal to Appium by dot accessibility ID, and that should be short button. It should be small letter. Yeah, everything is short. Okay, small letters. Now like this I can use it. Now the second thing is that I need to identify all these items. After you click this, right, this list I need to identify, and we have the accessibility IDs. I have copy pasted into a particular note, so I'm just grabbing and putting it here. You can see you can make this as private as well, because we don't want to expose this to outside. Fine. Now 4 items I have declared here. Now the next thing is that I need to identify the first item into this list, right? See, we have this particular item names XPath. Now this grabs all the items. I just need to get the first item. How you need to do? You would have seen that I have done that already. So if you go for this, right, I can simply make it as here, and I will go index 1, and if I search, you can see first item. Now the same thing, if I just change this text to price, I should get the first price in that list. You can see. Perfect. Now let's go and do that. Now because this is Android text view, I need to add inside this if else condition. So for this I will create a private by, and here I will take first underscore item price, or maybe first item text. Let's say first item text, or a name should be good actually here. That will be a good naming convention. And I will take another private variable for the price actually. Private by, I'll say first underscore item and price. Okay, these 2 variables, and I will be adding their XPath actually. Let me show you that. And again I have copy pasted that, and you can see first item name, first item price. You can see I've taken the XPath, and after that I'm taking an index of that. The same thing, price index of 1. So always it picks up the first item from the list actually there. Now I'm done with all of my web element locators actually, whatever I need to grab. Now when we are going to execute for iOS, I will be adding here actually, so don't worry about that. Now let's write the actions. What are the different actions you can get it? One is get the text from here, get the text from here. So let me grab that as well here. So I'm grabbing, you can see I created one method as get first product name, where I'm saying return get text. From where it is coming? This is coming from my base page. Here you can see base page, I have added this, which is based on Android and iOS. It will grab the text from there. So I simply said get text and first item name, which is this index 1. The same thing, first item price. Now the second thing is that, or the next thing, I need to get the count actually. So let's do that. So I will take public, I'll say int, because I need to return the count, right? Get items count. Okay, and I don't really need to send any parameters here. Here what I need to do, I need to say int count equal to util dot get items. I just created this method, right? We just discussed this one, get items. What I need to send? The list of items. Now list of items is what actually? This item's name, or item names. Item names, that's it. You just need to this much only, add exception. And then after doing this, let's print it, or else for an instance I will just count it. See here I don't need to really scroll and do that. This get items does everything for you. Okay, now as I told that time, after I will be getting all the items, after this particular method is called, I'm at the bottom of the screen. It means that I need to scroll top. So we have created this method, right? Util dot scroll to top. Now this is where I told that we need to use this method. That's why I created a util method there. And after that I will simply return this particular count. Okay, size is not coming. Why is that? Here actually we should have size. Let's see the get items. So you can see that I'm doing a void actually. I'm not really returning this. So my end goal is to return this particular items, right? So that I can grab it. Now I'll just copy this, and instead of void I need to return this. And now after I will do that, if I put, I will get the size. That's the, because this actually returns the set of items. You can see set of web items, and I'm getting this size. So that's it. Now by coming inside this particular method and getting out, I am again at the top of my list. That's it. That was the intention of making this scroll to top. So I think I'm pretty much done like doing all these things, but there is a catch actually here. You need to also go into this particular item, click on this and click on this. So it means that I need to write another method actually there. So one more method I will be adding, and that would be public void. And here I will say, let's say that sort by, one method I am making, and here I will be accepting some kind of what do you call value actually here. Let's say for now what I'm going to do, so I'll say that click on this particular item, Now this item is which one? If you remember, we have captured this, right? Sort by option. So I'll say click on this particular option. After that, let's say that I'm clicking on this first item, name ascending, right? And you can see there is a name ascending. So the same thing, let's go here and I will put click name ascending. You are done with that. Now see, whenever I'm coming to this particular screen, right? Like I'm going down and going up, I'll just give some, or maybe you can also here actually you can put wait and click. Here you can do that, so that come to this screen, wait for this element to appear it, and then you click on this particular item. Sometimes this particular alert takes some time to come here actually. So even you can say wait and click this item. That's it. Okay, and then your list will be repopulating, and you can see the list will be, now you can see the list gets changed based on your selection. Then we need to verify what is the first item here. Fine. Now when I'm choosing this name ascending, my first item should be Sauce Labs backpack actually, and the price should be $29.99. Now let's straightly get into the products test and then keep writing the test case here. Now what I'm going to do in the products test, the first thing is that I need to create an object of all of my the pages that I'm going to automate it. So I'll first copy this one, and then after that let me go here and I will create one @test method. Okay, and I will say public void, and I will say products test, or maybe products validate test, some name I'm giving here. And then I'm coming back here, I'm creating an object of this particular class, objects here. Let me just grab this, import classes for everything. Okay, so I've created the objects here. Now see, I don't really need to log into this, because this particular catalog is there, right? After login also you will get, now also you will get as soon as you launch your application. So what I'm going to do, I need to verify the items count, right? So I will put an assertion here as soon as the app is launched. I'll say assert equals, our always the intention has to be to validate something. That is what I'm going to do. So get items count, here you can see, and that should be 6. And here let's just put the exception. Fine, first validation or first test step is done. Now the second thing is that I need to go into this particular button and then click on this. So it means that a navigation, so I can say prod page dot, I can say sort by, and here you can see there is a option here. So I'm just keeping it a sort by method. We have did this, right? Later we will try to write a way to kind of select any one of these options. For now I'm just hard coding it to showcase whether this test is executing or not. And I need to assert two things actually here. One is assert equals, what exactly we need to assert here? So prod page dot get first product price, comma, what I'm expecting there, $29.999, right? And the same thing I will be doing for my name as well. So instead of this get products price, right, I'll say name. We have another method, and here I need to put this particular name actually here, the Sauce Labs backpack. So let's copy that from here. Where is that Sauce Labs backpack? Where is that? Maybe I will do this and copy this. So I'm keeping it here. That's it, and you are done with that. Okay, so fine then. Now let's try to run this. Now there are three test cases, three test steps or validations we did. One is getting the count, then I'm navigating to the sort by with name ascending sort option, then validating the product price and product name. Perfect. Now let me close this particular Appium server, because we have written the Appium server to run automatically, right? My application is ready here and the test cases are ready. Now let me go into this and run this, but let me see that. Okay, here for now the platform is Android, so we should be good. So I'm running a product test for the Android application. Let's see, input must be set. What is that? Oh, okay, so I need to actually extend the base test. Actually there extends base test, then only the app will be launching, right? So base test actually, okay, so that the app will be launched. Let's rerun. Okay, it is launching the application, and you can see it's now grabbing the count, and then it will scroll up to reset the screen. Click on that name ascending, search the first name. There is some problem happened. Let's see what is that. It should give me the assertion error as well if there is any issue is there. An element could not be located on the page using the given search criteria, and you can see this particular index one, it is not taking item price. Okay, no worries. So there is a catch here. Sometimes this index doesn't take automatically. You simply need to put it inside a bracket actually here, so that it will first evaluate the entire items list, then it will pick up the index. Let's see if this works. So let me again rerun that. Okay, as you can see, the test case got executed. Now let's quickly see if we can run the same test cases for our iOS application or not, because our main intention is to deal with Android and iOS, right, with the common framework. So for this, let me quickly open the Appium inspector and the iOS application with the simulator. Okay, so the application is opening here, the MyDemo application for this iOS simulator. At the same time, the Appium inspector is opened, and now let me open the terminal and then run the Appium server. Okay, and then now let's go into this and start session. I just wanted to show you guys that what are the different elements that are present for the iOS that is different than iOS. So let's go to this products page and come back here. Now our intention is to grab these two things, right? Because which is bit different. No, these three actually, these three items. So let me copy and paste it here for iOS, and let me show you the Appium inspector for the iOS simulators. It takes some time, so let's wait for some time to populate. Okay, as you can see that it came here. I need to click on this, right, and let's scroll down to that particular locator. Where is that? Yeah, here you can see this is the sort by, and you can see, as I told, accessibility IDs are normally common for Android and iOS, so I don't need to do really two separate IDs allocation, right? So I have taken only one time only. This is that's how you can identify. Now let's come back to this actually here, and you can see the XPath is different. You can see this XPath is different. Here XQueue element type static text, but in case of Android, it is Android widget text view, right? So let me copy that, this particular store item text, and then put it here actually in this particular thing for iOS. Okay, let me restructure this. And the same thing, let me copy copy for this particular item price as well. For now, let me put this XPath here as well for iOS. Okay, so it's done. Now instead of this, let me copy paste this entire thing and put it here. But instead of text, I think it is price. Let me click on this and try it. What is that? Yep, you can see item price right here. It is coming price. So text instead of that, let me grab price. And you can see here now it is coming as value. For your Android applications, it was coming as text actually. So that is how, if you go for this get text, we have dealt with Android and iOS, right? If it is Android, go for get text. If it is iOS, go for get attribute of value, because it always populates with value only. So this is what we have written. Now let me quickly validate if we have all the items properly set up. Item names, XQ element static text, store item text, and then these two things. Okay, perfect then. I think these were only the 3 Appium locators that were different, but the action is same. Let me close this. I don't really need. Let me go to the simulator. As soon as you launch the application, the list, as I told, we don't need to scroll it. It grabs all the items, and I will grab that item list, count it, then click on this particular list. It is bit different actually, the way it is popping up, but the locators are same actually, as we have seen. And I will click on this, and then I will validate the first name and first item price there. Perfect. Now let me go to the app data, and let me keep it as iOS because I want to run the iOS test cases. Let's stop my Appium server because I want to run it programmatically from my framework. So go to the products test, same steps, no difference, nothing. We have already handled whatever is different for iOS and Android. So I'll go here and run this. And now it should select that particular sort by. Think it is recursively going to this actually, this products page. We have the scroll to top method is there, right? It is keep on running. Let's see why. Scrolling this scroll to top, I think we are at this get items count. It is counting. Let me see if it ever printed the value as 6. I'll do control here 6. You can see it printed that value 6, but it is keep on scrolling actually. Now the thing is that the scroll to top is keep on scrolling for iOS here. And let me see, it's somewhere actually this end of page is not coming, and it is keep on into a infinite loop actually it went. Okay, so there is some issue with the scroll to up actually for the iOS. It's keep on scrolling. No need to worry about that. We will definitely see this to fix that. Now for now, what we are going to do, we will do a logic here. Like instead of into this page, right, taking this util dot scroll to top, I will do this into this actually. Like as I told, whenever we are finishing that, right? See, when we are going to finish this particular get items towards the bottom, right? Now, after capturing all the items here, like this is my while loop, right? You can see now after this while loop, okay? So I'll just come here, and then I will do a util dot scroll to top, because this is with respect to the Android driver, right? So to after capturing all the items, I'll simply say that util dot scroll to top. So in that way, what will happen, it will skip the util dot scroll to top for the iOS driver, because for iOS we don't really need to do all this while loop, right? And also into your products page, when you are writing or getting the items count, you really don't need to do the scroll to top. Now I will definitely tell the reason why it is not really working actually, the scroll to top for iOS. We will see that in our upcoming sessions. So let me run this test, and no more Appium servers are running, and this is my simulator here. And you can see it all worked fine. There is no issue with that. And you can see the test case got passed with all these 3 different assertions. There is some issue with this particular scroll to top. We will definitely see that in our upcoming sessions. Okay, so I think, yeah, that was pretty much it actually, whatever we wanted to discuss actually for today. Now definitely it's not limited to these 2 sets of validations, right? We can even, like as I told, we need to validate each of these options, like all these 4 options we need to validate one by one, and then we need to make sure that these particular items are updating properly or not. We can use an Excel sheet to capture, like for this option what is the first item, for this option what is the second item, third item, and then we will be keep on looping it from here and then verifying each of these. Now these are also hard coded, right? We can use an Excel sheet which will hold all these details for each of the sort by options, and then automatically it will verify everything. So hope this session is useful. Stay tuned and do subscribe to this YouTube channel. We will be seeing some more interesting topics in our upcoming sessions. Thank you for watching.